Force will be with you, always.
Is Darth Vader really the best Star Wars villain? Now, if you've read the Timothy Zahn trilogy or watched Star Wars Rebels, you know who Grand Admiral Thrawn is. Now, before you jump into the comments and start screaming at me for how I could even suggest that Thrawn could rival Vader, hear me out. Because by the very end of the video, I think I'm going to have you convinced as to why Thrawn is the perfect villain for Star Wars today. Thrawn is a member of the Chiss species, a humanoid race with distinctive blue skin and glowing red eyes. He hails from the unknown regions, a part of the Star Wars galaxy largely unexplored by the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order. Thrawn's exceptional tactical strategic skills caught the attention of Emperor Palpatine during the Galactic Empire era. Despite being an alien, he was promoted to the rank of Grand Admiral, one of the highest military positions in the Imperial Navy. Thrawn quickly gained a reputation as a brilliant military strategist and a master of warfare. Thrawn's tactical brilliance stems from his ability to study and understand the art, culture, and philosophy of his adversaries. He believes that one can gain a deep understanding of an enemy's strategies just by studying their art as it reflects their thought process. Thrawn is known for his meticulous planning, adaptability, and the ability to exploit the weakness of his opponents. Thrawn played a significant role in the Star Wars expanded universe, particularly in the post-Return of the Jedi timeline. In Zahn's original Thrawn trilogy, set 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, Thrawn emerges as a major threat to the New Republic, the successor to the Rebel Alliance. He attempts to resurrect the shattered Empire and lead it to victory against the Rebellion. Thrawn's popularity among fans led to his inclusion in other Star Wars media. In the animated TV series Star Wars Rebels, set before the original trilogy, Thrawn becomes a primary antagonist for the Rebel crew. This portrayal showcases intellect, strategic brilliance, and dedication to the Empire. Thrawn has also appeared in other novels, comics, and video games, solidifying his status as a beloved character in the Star Wars universe. With the acquisition of Lucasfilm by Disney, the Star Wars expanded universe was rebranded as Star Wars Legends, and a new official continuity called the Star Wars Canon was established. However, in 2016, Thrawn was reintroduced in the Star Wars canon through the animated series Star Wars Rebels, as we mentioned earlier, and this marked his transition from Legends back to canon. This reintroduction brought the character back into the mainstream Star Wars storytelling, and Dave Filoni has said before that he wants to bring characters from Legends into canon if they fit.
And I've always leaned towards if we're going to create something, we should check and see if it existed already to the fans, because it has way more value if we bring that in. And It's like, why would I just replace it with something new? So if we're going to do an admiral, if we're going to do a big military leader, yeah, I could create a new guy, sure. But what about Thrawn? Thrawn is great. Thrawn is a character we all know. Thrawn has a lot of credibility. So then you ask yourself, is it right to use him? And can we use him in a way that's similar to the books? Or are we using him and it's going to go completely into left field? And there have been times when we wanted to use things from the EU, and I was like, yeah, but we can't use it that way. So why? I don't want to use it and change it. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to use it and make it something completely different. That's rude.
Since his reintroduction, Thrawn has been featured in a new trilogy of novels by Timothy Zahn set within the current canon. If you want to check those out, I'll leave a link in the description below. I loved reading through those. These books explore Thrawn's backstory and his rise through the ranks of the Imperial Navy. Overall, Grand Admiral Thrawn is a complex and fascinating character known for his military genius, cultural understanding, and calculating nature. He has captivated Star Wars fans for decades and remains a significant figure in the ever-expanding Star Wars universe. Is Thrawn better than Vader? Of course not. I'm not suggesting that, but I do believe Thrawn is the perfect villain for Star Wars today. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Am I off on this? Am I totally wrong? And should I just be quiet? I don't think so. And here's why. Thrawn is not powerful with the Force. He doesn't yield a lightsaber. Instead, he's a ruthless tactician who will manipulate and change the situation so that it will all end in his favor. Think of Moriarty from the Sherlock Holmes novels. That's who Thrawn is. One thing is always true in Star Wars. There is an ever-present threat that is coming imminently upon the characters. We see this in the original trilogy. We see this in the prequels, and they tried to do it in the sequel trilogy, but most would agree it just didn't land by bringing back the Emperor, and it kind of fell flat. And honestly, I think that's been the biggest issue, or at least one of the biggest issues with the new era of Star Wars, is there hasn't been this rival, this other villain like Darth Vader to come on the scene and elicit that fear and worry and just that always in the back of your head knowing that something is about to go down. That's exactly what Thrawn brings to the table for this time frame. And so the era after Return of the Jedi, through Mandalorian, through Ahsoka, through all the things that are going to happen, I think it's perfect that Thrawn is the villain who will carry all of the movies, all of the shows through until we get to the New Republic and the First Order. So that is why I think Thrawn is the perfect Star Wars villain. He's the threat in the galaxy that needs to be there for Star Wars to be Star Wars. As always, let me know down in the comments below, what do you think? And if you like this video, please consider leaving a like. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the Ahsoka series coming here in August, where we will get to see Thrawn in live action for the first time. And I believe we're going to see Thrawn on the big screen because the title to the new Dave Filoni Star Wars movie was just leaked. If you want to see about that, click right here. Remember, the Force will be with you always.